price. There are people who wants a camera, high resolution camera. So they will make a product that with very high resolution camera with a low price. And there is also a high-end part of Samsung wherein processor is there, high resolution camera is there, good quality of the mobile. But the price is much higher, not even higher than Apple. But they tailored something based on the needs of the user. Because for me, I'm not really on the camera. I'm more on the processor. I want fast. I want bigger storage in my tablet. Okay. Next is the market follower. And surprisingly, before, Huawei was just a market follower. Okay, Huawei. Familiar with Huawei, China? Okay, Huawei.
Vivo,
Huh?
Vivo or VIVO?
Huawei, Huawei,
Huawei.
Huawei, Huawei. Okay, so okay, they imitate. Okay, before they just imitate the Apple and Samsung. Okay, if they want the crystal clear screen, China made it. Okay, China made it crystal clear. And then high resolution camera, they made it. Okay, the size, the Android, they copied everything. Whatever Samsung has, they have it. Whatever Apple has, they have it. So they just copied. You see, but the lower version. Before, only few used Huawei. In fact, I'm impressed by that Huawei specification. But I did not buy because I'm Apple. The name, I buy for the name. But only to find out with my relatives in the Philippines that they have better performance in Huawei compared to my iPhone. And they're be even almost the same with the high end of Samsung. Okay. So now, this market follower had an opportunity now. In fact, Huawei now is not anymore market follower. They're already market challenger because they are challenging now Apple. Huawei and Samsung globally are almost the same. And there are other market follower now that are like Vivo, Oppo, what else? Uh, Motorola was there before, they were lost. Yeah, see? So Vivo and Oppo are there. They are now the market follower. Okay? Okay, market niche. Okay. Before, I cite example, the market niche is the BlackBerry because they're only focused on the business. It's a secured for business. And then how can I take it this time?
Rolls Royce.
Yeah, okay, for the cars. Okay, I can say cars. Rolls Royce are only for few. It's not for public. Even Bentley. There are target markets only intended for Bentley. So what else? Okay, there are phones now, high resolution phone, uh, what do you call this? High resolution with good memory, good processor, and even can process documents, anything. However, they don't have camera. Okay, so okay, yes, because they are intended for the oil and gas or for the secured facilities that doesn't allow cameras. So these are niche market. So what else? We can have one example niche market. No.
This dog and cat food, like
Ah,
recently. Yeah.
yeah. So okay, cat food, yes, dog and cat food. So it's very niche for those animals. What else? Let's say if I'm a mobile phone provider, yes, that's one. The second, I can have a niche market for, for the travelers, for this, what do you call trekkers. I have to, if I am in the mobile phone industry, I have to introduce a heavy duty, waterproof, shockproof, and the Starlink, the satellite or Starlink mobile phone, just for this very specific market, like the travelers, the seafarers, the trekkers, mountain climbers, because so those areas doesn't have signals. So perhaps if I am in a mobile phone industry, I will come up with that kind of uh, product intended for this niche travelers or explorers. Okay. Okay. One example. Are you familiar with Casio watches?
Yeah.
Casio. Casio was known for its digital watches before. They're famous from Asia, even around the globe. Casio was there. So Casio was intended for students, for any walks of life, watches. And then their intention when they produced the G-Shock, because some of the watches, when it fails, it breaks. So they designed something for these workers, for uh, uh, for this in the industry, in the manufacturing, in the construction. They designed a watch for these people, niche market. And what happened? This G-Shock watch has been massive, has been patronized by everyone, any walks of life. Sometime 10 years ago, right? Are you familiar with this G-Shock? In fact, I have a G-Shock until now, so at home, because I was impressed. Because G-Shock is, you throw, you dive, wherever you go, G-Shock stays. Yeah, so that the design was good. Although they designed it for a very niche market, but it becomes a bigger market. It becomes known as one of the best watches ever. All terrain, all weather watches. Even the military. Just imagine, even the military. Okay. So, but actually, it was not intended for military, because the supplier that there is one Luminar. I forgot the brand, but there is one supplier of watch to the military before. But in Asia and Europe, there is one Seiko Divers for the military that was designed for them. Actually, the Seiko Divers was not just designed for divers. It was designed for the entire military forces because of the heavy duty, the all-terrain, that strap, that rubber strap, that was designed for them. But when this Casio came, even the military adopted that Casio. All the military forces in the world adopted that Casio. Durability, lightweight, and then so many options. It's not only that you can do the time, you can make alarm, we can make programming, communication, a lot of features was there. Yeah, their compass. And oh, and even the depth, measurement of the depth, uh, measurement of the elevation. So many options were there on that Casio G-Shock. You see, it was intended for them. It was intended for laborers or heavy work, and then it was adopted by many, even in the professional, in the corporate field. Even the CEOs are already wearing G-Shock during that time. So imagine that. So that's one of the best invention that the Casio had. Okay. So now the reason that we need to understand is because if you want to start a strategy, you have to understand what position will your company be. Will you be market nicher? Will you be the market follower or market challenger? But ideally, if you are a startup, start with this. There's a track. Start with this. Then to improve here, to improve here. So, but there are other existing companies that they have to understand where are their position now in this market. So understanding your position can strategize you better about your next stage. Because if your company is here, you can strategize my next should be here. or you can jump directly here. Okay. So that is the reason why we have to study the market, the four market in for our position of our companies. Next is stakeholder analysis. We still have time, don't worry. You need a break? Okay. I'll pause and let's have a break. Let's have a break. All right, let's proceed. Okay, let's proceed to the next topic, stakeholder analysis. Okay. Okay. Stakeholder analysis is identifying the stakeholders, and I believe, no, not in this class. Last Monday, I discussed about stakeholder in the CFM. Okay, because in my mind, I already that stakeholder. So you have to classify the stakeholders and the needs of the stakeholders and determine how to manage these stakeholders. Okay, so this is the idea here. So stakeholder analysis, understanding who are the stakeholders. Okay. Internal, we have the owner, the manager, supplier, customers, and the local community, and the public are external. Okay. Local community can be also external. Okay, external. Internal are employees, suppliers, owners, but it depends on how you perceive it. So later we will go into that. Okay, let's have this kind of stakeholder analysis. Okay. Now, if this is your company A, okay, your subcontractors are your external. Okay. Your suppliers are your external. Correct? The government, external. What else? The service providers like Ooredoo, Vodafone, Karama, MOI, they are external. Okay. So what is inside, internal, in your company is your managers, investors, managers, employees. What else? Departments, if there are so many departments. Okay, these are okay. Departments like HR, design, procurement, these are internal customers. Because in your company, you coordinate with your internal customers. If you're from quality, you're coordinating with your operation, you're you're coordinating with your HR, with your admin, as a customer. Within the boundaries of production, if it's a process, okay, if it's a process, if you remember, we have that input, process, output, okay, raw materials, production, and their delivery. Okay. These are internal customers of the company. But independently, these two, let's say, the materials process, they have their own internal, which is material procurement, storage handling, storekeeper, okay, what do you call this, procurement, they have. But their external customer is the user, the production, the operation. So the production operation also, they have their own internal, which is the operator, the maintenance team, the quality control team, it's there. Then they also have their external customer, the raw material division and the delivery. So they have their internal customer. So the delivery also have their internal customer, the packaging, the storage area, the dispatch area, the receiving of the complaints is there. So it depends on how you perceive your position. You have to identify who are your internal and who are your external customers. So Here is a generic one. I just highlight about how you perceive. Here you perceive as a company, your external stakeholders, and your internal stakeholders. But here inside the company, every functional area, every department, every process have also their external and internal customers. Right. Okay. So now the stakeholder analysis. So identifying this, I don't know if I have the, okay. Okay. Identifying this stakeholder come up with two aspects. The first, their interest in your organization and their power in your organization. So you have to identify them. So who are these customers? Let's say contractor. Okay. Contractor, primary customer is your internal, your CEO, your manager, your investor. Where are they? Your CEO and your manager, where are they now? They have high interest for sure. Their interest is high, correct? They are powerful because they can terminate you anytime. So they are powerful. The power is high. So the CEO, the manager, okay, are directly involved in the organization. So they are defenders. So what you will do if you are the quality manager here? So you always keep them informed daily. So, okay, daily. If there are any issues, positive or negative, you have to inform them. Daily report. So this is what they need to make them feel that they are involved. They know what is happening in their operation, their project, their plant, their facility. Okay, so because they are high power, they have interest. Okay. Now, second, government. Let's say Karama, ministry, government, civil defense. Do they have power in your company? Can they terminate people?
No, no.
No. Okay. But they have interest in your company for you to ensure that you comply on the regulations, on the standards. Correct? So they are the key players. So let's say ministry, uh, Karama, civil defense, okay, right. What about Urido and they're just service providers, okay? So they are key players. So what you will do with these key players? Manage closely. How can you manage them? What is the requirement? They have requirement, right? Civil defense should be safety. Ministry, some regulations, rules to be legal requirement. Karama is also, it's a government, but there is a requirement for them, safety of the consumption. Okay, so what you will do to manage them, just meet the requirement. So regularly ensure that your company's registration is updated. You follow the regulatory requirement, the safety requirement. And for the civil defense, also you have to follow the routine. They have quarterly, what do you call this? Emergency drill, emergency evacuation drill requirement, even if it's not good, for as long as you have report, you have attendance done, finished. This is how to manage them. Because if you fail, they will react. They will provide you warning, or at the end, probably penalties if you fail to manage them. So this is how to manage the key players. So there are also stakeholders like, what about the investors? The people who invest money to your company. Actually, they have high interest, right? But some of the investors are not really what do you call this, controlling the operation. They are not part of the operational control. They only have invested as and there's a board overrunning it with the heading by the CEO. So not all investors are having power to the company. They have interest because they want a profit. So these investors are part of key players. So what are the needs of these investors? Profit. They don't need anything, no matter what you do in that company. For as long as my investment has a profit, that's okay for me. So that's how to manage them, investors. So they are key players. Right. Now, there are also latents. Okay, latent stakeholder. Okay, let's have one example of this latent. He has low interest, but and low power. Who do you think is this?
Government, government,
No, government have interest in some, yeah, maybe some government entities who are not, who don't have, okay, the public, correct? The public, the communities, okay. They are general public, community, they are also stakeholder. They don't have interest in your company, they don't have power in your company, but they are concerned. Let's say if you violate their safety, if you violate their rights, if you violate some environmental requirement that will affect them. So what you will do now? Keep them satisfied. Do not disturb them. You see, during construction, there is every company in the infrastructure works, there is a like stakeholder manager or stakeholder coordinator. Their role is to address mostly these complaints. Because people are complaining to Asgal, very noisy. At night, I cannot sleep. There is an equipment operating overnight. So they make that report. And then Asgal will go to that contractor. We receive this report, manage it. So now this stakeholder coordinator will call this public concern. What is it that you want? Okay, so yeah, if this is your concern, probably we will not use equipment at night. We can just work without equipments. So that's another thing. Okay, so you have to keep them satisfied, not to disturb them. This is how to control. Then there are stakeholders that are apathetics. So apathetics, they're powerful, but they don't have interest in your company. So here we can say some government entities, government entity that is not connected with you. They don't have interest. Let's say Minister of Tourism.
immigration,
Huh?
immigration,
Yes, immigration, yes. Immigration. Yeah, other government. Or here, there are powerful. Who are these people? Checks.
checks.
See? They are not interest. They don't have interest in your company. But if you happen to disturb them, gala. You're in the flight going home the following day. Okay? So they have power. They have power. So what you will do is to monitor. So that's why when you are in a project or you're in operation, you have to identify who are these people. Especially in construction, we have to identify whose house is this. They have the mapping. The stakeholder coordinators have this mapping. Who are this the house of the sick. So next time, let's be careful in this area. If we okay, okay, high profile. Okay. Uh, uh,
Set back the space for him
Uh.
and operate on space provided, but his car is never been removed there. Just to satisfy him, delayed the space for him.
you see? Because they are apathetics. These are the people that you have to avoid. They're not part of your organization, but they're so powerful that if it will keep them discomfort, be ready with your. Okay. Okay. Mm. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. They have the apps to complain. Yes. Okay. Yeah, to be disturbed. So actually, the way to manage this, because we've been in the infrastructure in the roads. So what we do, they give them advance notice. The government give them advance notice. It is not the contractor. It is the government who will notify them that they will be working on this particular period and duration. So if you have issues, please respond. It's the government who are coordinating it. So on the part of the contractors, be sure that on that particular schedule you have to finish, because if not, that's a problem. Okay, you see? So these are the apathetics. So analyzing the stakeholders, it will keep you out of trouble. Okay, so you have to understand. What about the employees? Where are the employees here? Employees are interest. Our salaries are there.
Defenders.
Okay. But sometimes we don't have power. Some employees have power, some employees doesn't have power. So most of the employees, by majority, they are key players. We are key players if we are of the organization. So, but we are internal, right? We are internal. Here is the external investors. Investors are internal. Okay. Okay. CEO is internal. Okay. Then, is there any external? Let's look for external customer that are powerful and high interest. Your client. Okay. Whoever is your client in that particular operation or project, your client is powerful and high interest. Huh? No, client is not part of your organization. He's not part of your company. They are your client. They are your external. They are your external, but they are powerful and they have interest because they are the client. Oh, what about consultants, the client representative? They are also here, right? Consultants. Okay. Yeah. I think majority of this is the only thing that I am really the most powerful, but doesn't have an interest. So this should be monitored, not to disturb them. Okay. So the reason why we need to understand in the stakeholder analysis, who are the stakeholders, where are they, what are their interest level, what are their power level, is for us to come up with approach, what to do with them. So for those high interest and high power, they are defenders. Just keep them informed. Bombard them with information, daily report, monthly dashboard. That's all. That's what they need. For key players, of course, manage closely. Always meet the requirement. For employees, pay their salaries on time. Okay. For the ministry and the civil defense, always meet the requirement. Okay. For investors, see to it that there is always a profit. Every report, there is already always like a projection about the profit. For this apathetics, do not disturb them. Because if something happened, you're on your flight back home. And for the community and public, the same. Just keep them satisfied. Do not disturb them as much as possible. So you will have your own approach depending on the status of your stakeholders. So it's okay with that. Okay. Quality. How can we apply quality in apply stakeholder analysis in quality? Let's have an application. Right. As a quality practitioner, let's say quality department, your high interest and high power is your, let's say, your CEO and your PM. Correct? Correct. So they have high interest and high power. Then your key players here, they are external to you, is your consultants. Your consultants, but they don't have, do they have power to you as a department? No. They are power to the company, but not to you. Okay, so your consultant is here. Because they are with directly to the company. And but they can be, depend. There are types of PMO, controlling PMO, directing PMO. So it depends on their control. So these consultants can also be here. Okay? Because they're client representatives. It depends on the level of control. Because there are so many types, there are 4 types of PMO, the controlling. It's the project management course. There are PMOs that are supporting only. They don't have control over your operation. They just support that, okay, provide this, yeah, use this method. But there are strong PMOs that are really direct, controlling and direct. Okay. So as a quality, we're talking about a quality as a quality professional. So your key players have an interest. Who else? Consultants can be the same. Government, right? If you are operating in the infrastructure construction, you have the QCS requirement. So who are the regulatory body here? Or the government, PWA, QR, what else? MOI, MME. Okay, and a lot more. Because they're following this. Even civil defense, QCD. So they are your key players. Then, who are your apathetics? Okay, probably on your part as a quality manager, the investors are your, correct, right? It's been investors. Because they're powerful, but they are not part of your quality. They're not concerned about your quality. Their concern only is profit. So, it depends on how you analyze. If you're analyzing as a company, you have different stakeholders. If you're analyzing as your quality department, you have different stakeholders. So, probably here, what else? Okay, your department, construction team. If you're in quality, the HSC team, they have interest, but they don't have power over you. Okay, your design, your engineering, they are key players. But they don't have power over you because you're different functional area. We are analyzing as quality. Earlier, we are analyzing as one company. Now we're analyzing the stakeholder as a quality department. Letters, yes, maybe community. The same, community, public. What about the subcontractors? Vendors? Key players, right? Okay, so they're key players. What else? Third party. Okay. Third party. Okay. For you, they are customers, right? They are your customer. Do they have interest? No. You have yeah. They have interest to you. But what about do you have interest to you? They have interest in your project because they provide services. Okay. So third party testing. But do they have power? No. Okay. Okay. But is their interest high or low? Okay. If we talk as a company, where is the, if we talk as a company, yes, third party is here. Okay. Okay. Now, if you talk as a quality, what is the role of the third party laboratory? Okay, yeah. Okay. Let's say, no, you are the quality department of your, let's say the construction, main contractor. Because you're directly third party. Huh? They don't have interest because to the quality, they only have interest to the company because of the payment, correct? So, do they have power? No, they have power. Other company, no. But in the quality, because we need the approval, the acceptance, they have power, right? If they fail to deliver, if they decide not to provide you the right, the quality department will fail. So, third party can be here. Correct? So it depends how you perceive it. So it's not necessarily that third party are key players. No. It depends. For the company, yes, they are key players. But as a department, because third party is a quality function, laboratory is a quality function, so you have, they are in the pathetics. So what you will do, monitor them, conduct audit to be sure that they can provide you the right service at any point in time. So to be sure that the processes are good, their system is okay, complies with the standards, with the regulations. So you conduct audit, monitor. Okay. So it depends. So this is how to conduct stakeholder analysis. Actually, when you create a management plan, project management plan, or your quality management PQP, you prepare, there's already a stakeholder section there, stakeholder management. So you have to mention actually what I do whenever I'm preparing a tailored. So you understand what is quality management, quality manual, and project quality plan. Manual is for your organization high level. PQP is specific for project. Okay. So for quality manual, we are okay. We know how to conduct. We already done as a company. But for us project specific, whenever we have on the section like, when I put in a section like the stakeholder management, there's a section. In fact, in the QCS, there's a template for PQP that there's a stakeholder management portion. What I do, I just list down the stakeholders. Oh, okay. Name, stakeholder. Then I didn't area. What area the involvement?
Position.
Okay.
Position.
Yeah. Then actually I put contact person. Okay. Name. Let's say client. One, client representative or consultant. Three, yes, of course, yes. Okay, so the main contractor. So we will put, are they external, internal? You include the civil defense, the Ooredoo, the Vodafone. You include that on that list because they are the stakeholders will be involved in your projects. Okay. Then, along with that stakeholder, it will connect to the communication plan, how to communicate with them. All right. So, it's here. It's here. Okay. Let's see. But actually, I did not, we are not, in the PQP, we are not putting their influence and power anymore. These are only internal. So what we do, okay, stakeholder, let's say, client, consultant, expectations. We call it compliance to requirements. So we will refer to contracts, compliance to contract number. Okay. Then who are the contact persons? Who are the contact persons? Here is your internal, because this is your internal analysis. But when you prepare a PQP, only identify for the team to understand who are the stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? Okay. So now, so again, going back, the idea of identifying stakeholders for you to know how to control, manage them. Okay. Then technology. Okay, just 10 minutes. So in general, nowadays, before technology was not just so important as now. Now, after the pandemic, it has been identified that the technology helps a lot in the operation as well as the financial side, because the technology helps productivity, efficiency, and as well it increases the profitability of the organization. So in a business, whenever you create a business or make strategy to improve the business, always consider technology. Now, before, it's all about automation and automation. But now, it's all about AI. Okay? So, so Internet of Things, it's not anymore. This is already absolute. Okay? That was in the old version of ASQ. But if new version will come, for sure, this one is not anymore applicable. They're more on cloud computing. Cloud computing, big data, blockchain. Yeah, not yet, not yet. Augmented AR, yeah, not yet. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so robotics, wait na. Yeah, it's already been there. Automation and automation is automatic. And automation is automatic with human intervention. I think I have that sample here. Yeah, here. Okay. Automation, it's a Japanese judoka with a human touch. But the automation with human supervision. Okay, automation supervisor can do multiple tasks as don't need to monitor the process. So automation is it's automatic, but the other one needs human supervision. Let's say bottled water manufacturing. Before, there's no sensors about defects. So still, people who are quality controllers still checking every line, taking samples. But now, all this production line are automation. So there are already some sensors that whenever there is a defect, automatically being pushed out from that line. And the role now of the supervisor is just to analyze how many defects has been removed. So what are the root cause of these defects? So it's not anymore the person who is there in the production line looking. So it's totally automation, but there's still a person monitoring. Okay. Here, okay. Another factors of automation is, yes, mass defects. Mass defects can be produced because if the person who is looking at it will miss, then some defective products will go. But here in the automation, there is also what they call this, a tool wherein instead of just pushing it out, if some defects, major defects are there, automatically the operation will stop. Okay, so that is automation. Okay. Then, yeah, sometimes here it's too late for the problem to identify it because it already goes down to the dispatch area. But here, it's because of the fault, what they call fault identifier. That if something wrong, major error, it will stop, totally stop. Machine learning. Never mind. It's already It's not anymore. See, it's an old technology. There is a latest technology now. I think blockchain is also there because now we have industry 5.0 already about the cloud, big data. So it covers. Hold on. It covers cloud computing, big data, but it's 5. But not anymore this. Machine learning is not anymore because we already have this AR and VR. 3D printing is not anymore. We have now 4D. We have 4D. Connected devices, that's not anymore because wireless, we do wireless. Because the first industrial revolution, the use of machines, steam engines. The second industrial revolution, the mass manufacturing production, that was 1970, wherein the garments, mass production of garments, mass production of clothes, mass production of something like this, equipment, electronics. The third industrial revolution, the electronics and control systems. The fourth, data analytics. Actually, it's not anymore here. We're already in the fifth, in the industry 5.0. We will update it once the SQ new version will arrive. Yeah. Okay. So the idea in technology is whenever you do, when you strategize, you adapt with the technology. Then internal capability analysis. All right. Okay. So, okay, on every company and every organization, of course, you get your sources outside, materials, equipments outside for your organization to operate and for your organization to deliver something to your customers. That's how it operates. So whether you are a contractor, you have your subcontractors here, you have your material suppliers here, then you will operate, initiate the construction, and then deliver it to your client. So now, if you are a product provider, let's say water bottle manufacturing, your suppliers, you have water supplies coming from, let's say, Karama, or you have your own desalination plant, and then you have suppliers for the plastic bottles, you have suppliers for the labels, you even have suppliers for the manpower, and then you produce the water bottles, and then you have distributors, you have dealers for your products, and internally you have your own functional area like human resource capability, facilities capability, operational capabilities. So this is what are your strengths within your organization for you to produce the client or customers' needs. So let's discuss about their capabilities. So human, of course, human resources always ask for competency, knowledge, skills, experience, competency. Okay. So easy access of skilled labor, nowadays they don't really must hire for those labors. They just outsource. But at least they have an access for that. They have special skills. That's why we are here. Because they don't have the skills, so they hired us. For quality, for other technical things, they hired us. And these human resources also have opportunities to train. So they are sending their people for training, for special trainings, or they conduct their own internal training. Okay. So they identified skill gaps. That's what we have the assessment, the midterm assessment, the annual assessment, the review, and they see to it about the retention of the company. So that's why some companies offering just to make their employees happy, not motivate, happy, satisfied. Okay, 30%, 5% increase per year. It makes us happy and satisfied, but not motivated. Okay. Next, so facility. So this is the analysis of your facility. Let's say construction. Hold on. under capacity and over capacity. All right. Now in the construction is over capacity. So there is more competition and now less projects in the construction firm. So that is the price cutting is there. Okay, because they are there. Earlier we talked about high exit barrier because they cannot move out. They have already their buildings, they have already their staff, they have their equipments. So what they do is to stay with the business as much as possible that they can because of their high exit barriers. So yeah, another thing is the drop of demand. 80% of the projects of that Qatar 2030 has already been finished. So that's one thing. But in the under capacity now is in the facilities industry. So facilities industry, they still profit from it, all facilities management company. Okay, there are so many companies now, new entrants are coming in for maintenance services, for cleaning services, or any other services. Okay, existing company will have an advantage. So there are so many facilities companies now that have really improved because they were there for the last 20 years on the facilities. So it might be because of, okay, I can one example here that it's under capacity. Okay, like say, when was the metro operated? 2019, right? 2018. It operates in 2019, started to run. Okay. When the metro has been completed, only few companies knows how to operate and maintain metro. So that's why they have that third-party operator. So because of the uncertainty, they were not able to forecast about that who will maintain. But now we have a lot of players now within that metro. Even local players, local cleaners, local operators, local maintenance. So it's already there. But before, let's say from 2022, 2023, only few. So they are under capacity during that time. Okay. So it's about facility capability. So as a company, you have to understand if your position. Are you in a company that in the market of under capacity or are you on that over capacity? So vertical integration strategy. So these are strategies made by companies to take advantage of take advantage of the market. So one forward integration, the other one backward integration. My voice goes through the other side, right? So to further understand, let's have one example like Apple Corporation. Okay. First, before, okay, let's have. I'll make a draft. Okay, this is the company, Apple. Apple has raw material suppliers, correct? Raw materials suppliers coming from other companies. Even their processor from outside, their camera from outside. I believe Apple only has what do you call this?
Yes, sir.
Their OS, okay, from outside. And Apple before has dealers, authorized dealers. Okay. The idea of forward integration is to instead of you're spending also here, you're losing money, you're selling your products high because of this authorized dealer before going to directly to users. Okay. So what they have done to forward integrate they reduce, not eliminate, because there are some areas, there are some countries which still have authorized dealers. You know this iStore? Okay, do you know this iStore? Now they are directly selling in the market. So just imagine with reducing having this iStore, they can have bigger profit margin. So because instead of giving that percentage to the dealer, that percentage goes to them. So profit wise, it was higher. So the operation was the same. There are only countries like Qatar have iStore, and there are countries that with authorized dealers. So for those countries that they can operate with iStore, they have high profit margin. In fact, they can play price. Sometimes they are giving discounts now. Before, rarely you can notice Apple giving discounts, but now they can. Okay. Also on the backward integration, I cannot make an example Apple. Because I'm not aware if they conducted backward integration. I will example one main contractor. I will make an example one main contractor. Okay. So contractor, okay, they deliver to clients. Okay. Contractor has so many suppliers, correct? Suppliers. There are contractors conducted backward integration. Instead of getting supplies, let's say tiles from other subcontractors, now they buy the company, they bought the company, and they own the tiles. So the tiles coming from them. And there are contractors also subcontracting MEP works. Correct? But now they put a different division, MEP division, to do the MEP works. There are some companies now that they have their own MEP division that subcontracting their works. So they're not part of here, but they are different company. Let's say one example, the UCC. UCC as a main contractor. And they created Elegancia as an MEP company and became a facility company. That was the idea before. And there's another one. I forgot the name before this UCC. There's another name for that. That was close. Huh? KCT. Yeah. Subcontract. So they are part. So that is the method of backward integration. So just imagine how much you will save if you will conduct that backward integration. So you will eliminate the middle person. So a lot more. A lot more. So you can do several backward integration. The idea is to eliminate the middle cost. Okay. So here we eliminate the dealers, the authorized dealers, the cost associated to authorized dealers. Here we eliminate the subcontracting because you're already doing it from your in the different division. Okay. Another example for I think this computers integration. Let's say Dell computer, Dell PC. Before, Dell PC was getting their what is this chip? Motherboard from Fujitsu. Before, they're getting it from Fujitsu. And Fujitsu was also a computer company, right? Fujitsu. But now Dell is making their own motherboard. That is backward integration. So instead of purchasing depending on the other companies, they produce their own motherboard now. Okay? So that's another example of backward integration. So the idea here, as part of your strategy, if you're making a strategy, if you can incorporate, if you can consider forward or backward integration, there's a possibility that you can do it so that you can have an efficiency, of your operation, at the same time, profitability. Because once you're making a strategy, it's all about profit. It's not about just being good, being nice, or being famous. It's all about profit. All right? So that is vertical integration strategy. Operational capability. Okay, this is the ingredients in making the advance. So the skills, okay, this is how we operate. So that, okay, whenever we assess or review pre-qualification documents, we review their operational capabilities. The way on their previous projects, completed projects, the existing projects, and the key personnel was part of the human resource. But in these two, what projects they have completed and what are the ongoing projects that they have, the cost of their projects. So meaning their capability to handle the same projects. When we also audit like suppliers to produce our product, we also assess how many existing clients that they have and how much they are producing in a certain period of time. For us to analyze, can they cater all these customers? Or maybe in the future, we will be having problem with supplies from them. Okay, so their operational capabilities. Okay, so last, oh my God. Okay, just 5 minutes. Earlier, we talked about the pestel, and it's all about legal requirement. So it is a must. Whenever there is a business, if you're making a strategy, you always align if that strategy can really meet the local requirements or the regulatory requirements, and or even the standards of the law, the standard.